Hey guys, thanks for stopping in again at Ask a Guitar Pro. I am Jake, and today we are going to do a demo of the Peavey Classic 30 amp. Peavey amplifiers and most equipment is generally known for being quite affordable, and really this particular amp has a little bit of a reputation for being a great sounding amp at a pretty small price tag. It's only a $400 or $500 amp, but it can do clean almost as good as most of your blackface Fenders. So today I'm going to run you through some of the sounds we can coax out of this amp as well as some of the features. So quick background, I am playing a Fender Strat right now, and this particular, and I've also got it on the neck pickup. This particular amp really has two channels, only one EQ for both channels, but that's maybe one of the few drawbacks on this particular amp. So it's got a normal and a kind of a lead channel, if you want to call it that, and it can get pretty hairy. You're probably not going to use this amp for metal, but it does do hard rock pretty well, and also the sound can get pretty hairy once the amp is turned up. It's a 30-watt amp, and I really can't do justice some of the tones without really turning it up, but I'll do the best I can at a reasonable volume here. So here's what the clean channel sounds like. Go to the bridge pickup, it obviously gets a little more trebly and a little more gainy. So I'm going back to the neck pickup here. This amp is really a warm sounding amp. It is a little bit bright, so I like to keep the EQ, keep the treble down, other than on the gain channel. I might put the treble up a little bit, but the mids, you know, I really think less than 6 is where the mids sound the best because it does get pretty bright. I like to keep the bass up, you know, kind of around the 8 level, 8 o'clock position here, which is about 2 o'clock on the amp. So just a very warm sound. So very warm. You know, one of the things that sticks out about the Peavey Classic 30 is really how nice the reverb sounds. A lot of amps, higher end, more expensive boutique amps, really don't nail the reverb, but I can tell you the Peavey Classic 30 has got great reverb. It uses, I believe, an Accutronics spring tank on it, but I'm going to go ahead and turn the reverb all the way up to 12 to give you an idea really what this amp can do as far as reverb goes. Great reverb. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the lead channel to give you guys a feel for what that sounds like. The clean channel, just FYI, only really has one volume button. There's not a gain or a preamp section where you can turn up the gain on. It's just a single volume button, right? What you see right here. But when you switch the channel over to the gain channel, it's obviously you hear a little bit of noise with the Strat there, but I've got the distortion all the way up, and I'm going to back it off a little bit, so you get a little bit of breakup at about 3 or 4. Turn up the volume a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the gain up even more, back off the volume a little bit. And actually, I'm going to go to about 2 o'clock on the amp here. Back off the reverb a little bit so you can hear it a little clearer. It's not so drowned out. Turn up the volume just a touch. Alright, so a couple more things here. I'm going to turn up the gain even more, max it out at about 11. Again, if you're looking for metal, you probably need to put another pedal in front of this on the clean channel, or maybe leave it on the gain channel and run maybe a lighter distortion pedal like a tube screamer in front of it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the treble up just a little bit, go to the bridge pickup, and here's what you get: a pretty dirty, really good classic rock sound. So really, those tubes really cook. You've got some EL or some AX7s in the preamp section, and then EL84 for the power tubes. So really warm, ring out with the G. So some really cool sounds out of this classic rock amp. There's another button on here too that I don't use all that much. It's called the boost button, and really it adds a little more treble boost. I'm not really in favor of this button. It's a little too bright for me. This amp already is bright enough, so the boost switch doesn't do much for me. So anyways, pretty cool amp. It does also have an effects send and an effects return, so it's got an effects loop. It's a serial effects loop, so you can really get some awesome tones. The only drawback of this amp is maybe I would have preferred another EQ for the clean channel and maybe a standby switch, but 30 watts, it can get pretty loud. It's just overall a great sounding amp. You should check it out for the $1. Great amp. Anyways, guys, hey, thanks for checking in again at Ask a Guitar Pro. We will see you next time. I'm Jake.